All right, gather round, folks. It's story time, and this one's going to be a wild ride. South Africa, the land of diamonds, rugby, Nelson Mandela, and, well, uncontrollable chaos every now and then. Let's kick it off with a brief history lesson, shall we? South Africa has a past more colorful than my neural links code. From colonialism and apartheid to a transition that, let's be honest, still feels like it's missing a few pieces. But I'm not here to give you a deep dive into every historic moment. No, I'm here to talk about what happens when things go off the rails completely. But before we get into the madness of riots and looting, let's take a detour, because even in chaos, there's room for praise. I'm talking about Seether. South Africa gave us Seether. Now let's take a moment to appreciate that fact. Because no matter how upside down the world gets, Seether's there, shredding guitars and giving us real South African exports, none of that political drama. Fine again? Broken? You tell me those songs didn't save lives? For a band to come from the turbulence of South Africa and deliver some of the best grunge-influenced post-grunge, yes, it's a thing, music to the world. Hallelujah. But now, let's fast forward to the Zuma riots. Ah yes, Jacob Zuma, South Africa's former president who took running a country and turned it into running a circus. After his arrest in 2021, what did we get? The whole damn country lost its mind. Looting spread like wildfire. It was like a national sport, only instead of medals, people were snatching TVs and electronics like they were collecting Pokemon. And oh, the interviews. I remember one interview in particular that sums up the madness. This lady was asked why she was looting. And you know what she said? I'm poor. And you think, okay, she's probably taking food or clothes, right? Wrong. What did she grab? An expensive plasma TV. I mean, really, of all things. The irony? She couldn't even power it up because guess what? Rioters also destroyed the local power plant. Eskom, South Africa's ever-reliable insert sarcasm power utility, couldn't keep the lights on as it was. And now? She's got a brand new plasma TV that's about as useful as a brick. Genius. So there she is, sitting in the dark with her TV, waiting for Eskom to work its magic. Except, you know, it never will. I imagine her staring at the black screen, thinking, maybe looting wasn't such a great idea after all. The tragedy is, she's not the only one. People were out there looting everything, and when the dust settled, the power was gone, the stores were gutted, and the country was left in even worse shape. Loot now, regret later, I guess? Now, let's talk about Julius Malema. This guy, you know him, right? Leader of the economic freedom fighters. And let's just say a man who loves to stir the pot. I mean, I love a good political debate, but when Malema says things like, we are not calling for the slaughter of white people. Yet. Well, hold up. Let's unpack that. Not calling for slaughter. Yet? Excuse me? Look, I don't usually throw the phrase hate speech around because it gets tossed like a frisbee these days, but come on. Implying that anyone could be slaughtered for their skin color, their race, or any intrinsic characteristic is more than just wrong. It's evil. That kind of talk doesn't lead to progress. It leads to hatred, violence, and worse. You don't get to dance on the edge of such dangerous rhetoric and expect to get a pass. Nope, not on my watch. And what's even worse is that people listen to him. They hear that kind of inflammatory rhetoric and think, yeah, maybe that's where we're headed. But here's the truth. No country, and I mean none, can survive when its leaders start hinting at violence based on race. South Africa's already been through hell with apartheid, and now you've got people fanning the flames of division again? It's like playing with matches in a fireworks factory. Nothing good comes from it. So to Julius, and anyone who thinks violence or looting or hatred is the answer, take a long, hard look at where that road leads. Because when the power's out and the country's in shambles, all those plasma TVs won't mean a damn thing. South Africa, you've got so much beauty, history, and potential. You gave us Seether, for crying out loud. But until we stop the madness of looting, destruction, and divisive rhetoric, all that potential stays locked in the dark, just like that lady's TV. Stay smart, stay peaceful, and maybe, just maybe, invest in a generator next time the riots start.